Good?
That was rough.
Alright. Alright. What's going on, everyone? Matthew Osborn here with
Romer the Romer.
Yeah, we're driving up to KeyStone Colorado right now. Avery's visiting Denver. Just grabbed him from Caleb's
Who's
house
Avery?
this morning. Romer the Romer, yeah. I don't think I normally call you Romer. I think I always call you Avery.
Yeah, it's weird.
Most people call you Romer now?
People that know me from social media call me Romer, but people that know me in real life call me Avery. My middle name's Romer though, so I go by Romer the Romer because I roam around the country.
Yeah, so if you're not following him, I'll put his link in the description below, or any of this footage gets to him, then yeah, you'll already be on his page. So, were you Romer the Romer when I first met you, or is that a name that came after?
No. Did I meet you in...
we were in LA, we met.
Yeah,
at
that was in Avery back then.
Oh, okay. That's why I probably always called you Avery. Alright, so while we're driving up, since it's a little bit of a drive up to Keystone, I want to talk about mindset for a minute with Avery, because Avery set a really, really big goal. Romer the Romer, dang it. Romer the Romer set a really big goal.
You call me whatever.
This year to get to 500,000 in sales on his Amazon account. Have you shared what your sales were the previous year? Or where are you coming from?
83,000 last year.
Alright, so more than 5 times what your sales were the previous year. So it's a really, really big goal. And you're getting close to hitting that, right? Especially these last couple months.
Yeah.
So in order to take that big of a growth and that big of a step, some mindset shifts definitely had to take place. What's kind of, think of 3, but what's kind of the first thing you'd say to people that you implemented to help you change your mindset to get to where you are right now?
I think just having a big goal to reach is like the first mindset shift. You have to have a big goal to hit in the first place, otherwise you're not going to know where the hell you're going. I read Grant Cardone's 10X, what is it, 10X? Is that the name of the book?
10X, I think it's just 10X, yeah.
The book is super redundant, and it like, I just heard his voice in my head over and over and over again, and like, I can summarize the book in like 2 sentences. You guys don't even have to go and read it. It's basically just come up with a huge, huge goal that like is bigger than you think you could hit, and then take actual steps to hit it. But you have to come up with a huge goal that you know is kind of audacious, and then take steps to like actually do it. And those 2 things are just going to like make it like a reality. So you have to have a big goal, and then the rest of the mindset stuff's gonna kind of just fall in place if you actually believe you can hit that goal. So yeah, I guess that's number 1 is vision.
So set big goals.
Yeah.
And so like tweeted at the very beginning of the year, right? From the very beginning of the year, you set 500,000 as my goal, right?
Yeah.
And probably the biggest thing is you announce that to other people too, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just a privately held goal.
Yeah, and that ties in with like actually believing in it.
Yeah.
When you announce it to other people, it's like, okay, he's like actually for real.
I mean, that's what most people get wrong with their goals, is that they don't tell anyone else about it, so they don't have like accountability attached to it.
Yeah.
Because if you never told anyone, ituld be really easy to change that goal as it starts getting harder.
And it kind of goes like the same way with your doubts. Like you don't. Do you know who Dan Pena is?
I don't think so.
He's called the $50 billion man, but one of his rules, he came from like nothing, and like now he's worth like, he says he's worth trillions now if you include all of his mentees in his net worth. But one of his things is that you never voice your doubts ever. So like this, I've heard CEOs say this, like even like the Amazon Lit guys, these big wholesale guys over in New Jersey. They're talking about how like when shit's hitting the fan and their Amazon account might be about to be shut down, or big Amazon change just happened and they have like 35 employees, they never freak out and go let all their employees know, because if they let all their employees know, number 1, they're freaking out their whole team. But I think even more importantly, if they go out, even if they post it on social media that they're freaking out, or they like voice their doubts like this might not work, they're also planting that seed, and that seed's gonna grow, versus the seed of like hope. So when you have a huge goal and you voice it to other people, you post about it on social media, you're planting a seed for growth. Versus it's okay to have doubts, but like don't be too open about it, and not because other people's opinions matter, but when you say it to other people, the world's like your reflection, so it's going to come back on you, and you're going to reinforce that loop of my goal might not happen.
Well, you start thinking that about yourself. You let that down to your own mind when you actually voice it.
Yeah.
And then you start wondering, man, is my business gonna fall apart?
Yeah, well, it's like if I told you
Yeah.
right now, like that I'm not gonna hit my goal, and like I looked at you in the eyes, and you were like, yeah, probably not. Like you just reinforced it,
Yeah,
and then like I'm
exactly.
like, okay, another human agrees with me, so my animal starts thinking, okay, like this is like a real thing, and so just don't even voice that shit.
Well, yeah, since you keep saying you're gonna hit it over and over and over again, your mind's starting to look for opportunities to help you do that versus crap, I'm not gonna hit it type thing. Yeah.
Right.
No, it's really good. So number one, set big goals. One of the things that's really helped me in the past like 2 years mindset wise that I always wanted to wake up early, not because I liked waking up early, I hated waking up early, but when I could actually get myself to do it, very rarely, when I could get myself to do it, I had like the most productive mornings. I actually did things that mattered. When I would stay up really late, for me personally, I just wouldn't get anything productive done. I'd start watching Netflix or doing something else. And so even though I did not like waking up in the mornings, I was really productive and I got the most meaningful work done. So I wanted to figure out a way to get myself to wake up early, and I could not do it by myself. So what I did 2 years ago is I found a workout partner, and at the current time, that was a little over 2 years ago now, 2.5, almost 3 years ago. He was my boss, and I said, hey, let's work out. He said, yeah, let's work out before work. I said, let's work out at 4:45 in the morning. That way we can actually get to work on time and stuff. And so we were workout partners now. Every single time I woke up in the morning, it wasn't even an option to sleep in. Like, I've got someone waiting for me there. So I set up that accountability for myself because I knew if it was just me doing it, I probably wouldn't do it. But
Did
if
you
I
ever try doing it by yourself?
So it gets easier to do it by yourself once you start having that. Because then I got a routine in. I got used to doing it. It still is a lot harder to wake up. If I know he's not going to be at the gym the next day, I do have that creep in my mind, and I wake up like, crap, the bed feels really, really good right now.
Right.
I'd rather just stay here. But because I kind of forced that accountability on myself, almost like Avery was saying, kind of announcing your goals the same way. You're forcing that accountability on yourself.
Right.
It's set up kind of fail safes for yourself to get where you want to go. And so now it's easy to wake up in the morning because I have someone I've got to meet, and then after that I'm already awake and stuff, so I can start tackling the day without crawling back in bed and sleeping until 10 like I'd like to do every single day.
Yeah. I probably need to move an inch in the direction of waking up earlier, because I have noticed I woke up at 6 o'clock a couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to get going. I was like, let's get after it. That never happens. Most of the time I wake up at 6 o'clock, I'm like, I should be sleeping right now. But I got so much work done.
Yeah, there's something motivating about being up when it's like quiet and still outside. You know, everyone else is sleeping.
Yeah.
And like being productive, it just makes you feel so good. And I can get into the office and get more done by like 8 a.m. than most people do by like the end of the workday type thing.
Yeah.
So it's really good. So forced accountability, I think, is a really, really good thing when you're trying to hit your goals. What would like number 2 be for you?
Environment, which everything's gonna fall in line after you set the vision. Like that's the most important thing. Like set the vision and actually believe in it. But then you're gonna realize you have to actually do these certain things to make it work, and you're gonna know what those things are once you set the goal, and once you actually believe you can hit the goal. It's like, have you ever heard someone say, like, what if someone pointed a gun at your mom and said you needed to make 10 million next year?
Yeah.
You'd probably find a way to do it.
Yeah.
And what if I told you you had to get 1 billion instead of 10 million? Like each time you add a zero to it, it's gonna change like the way that you approach the goal.
Yeah, definitely.
So like if my sales goal is 100,000, I could write out a plan to hit 100,000. But then you add a zero to it. It's like, okay, I would need to change some things. You add another zero to it, and the trick is really believing you can hit it, and then actually knowing the steps to get after it. But I think one of the biggest things, and this is another thing I've heard, is when you run a business, like your business is a reflection of you as a person. And if your business is shit, it means like you're a shitty business person. Like you're just not. And I've also heard if you like the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So like I'm a very messy person and I sleep in late. Those are 2 things I'm actually trying to change. That's why hanging around you and David Chung is going to be good, because you wake up early as hell.
Is he like a super clean?
David's like super clean.
I've seen his warehouse, and his warehouse is like what a neat freak would keep a warehouse like, so I could see that.
Yeah, he's super clean.
Did you see his warehouse there?
I have not yet. I want to. Yeah, I'm gonna go see it. That'll probably be on my channel. I'm gonna try my best to like sneak in his warehouse with my camera and record his whole bulk operation. But yeah, environment is number 2. So surrounding myself with like-minded, positive people, and I feel like that's like one of the best things I've done. But the reason why I've done it is I know it's 100. Like, this is probably the most important thing. Secondary to vision. My environment has to be good in order to change who I am and push me in the direction of my goals. So I've networked like crazy this past year. Hung out with, you, Kayla, Raken. I live by myself because I don't want other people rubbing off on me. Even if if they're on the couch texting on the phone, that becomes a normal behavior in my apartment. I don't want that to be normal behavior. I want me to dictate the normal behavior. And I can have people like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk in my apartment. Like, it sounds silly, it doesn't sound real, but like, if you put those people on YouTube and listen to them all the time, they become part of your brain, and it's just like having them living with you. I think we take that for granted. YouTube, if you say you learn something on YouTube, it doesn't really, it's a whatever. Like if someone asks, where'd you learn how to do that? You say YouTube, like, they almost always chuckle. But like, I could go back and listen to like a Martin Luther King speech and like have him in my ear. Like, that's something we take for granted. Like, if the internet was gone tomorrow, we would look back at how spoiled we are. Like, even as a bookseller, like, I'm a big believer in books, but like, just having the opportunity to have, like, if all internet was wiped out, we'd still have books, and we would talk to everyone and be like, remember when we could hear Martin Luther King speaking like in front of us on the phone, and we thought it was bullshit, like, because it was like YouTube? Like, that's way better than reading the speech of Martin Luther King. Like, you can actually hear his voice. We could do that with Steve Jobs, like all these huge successful entrepreneurs. So that's my environment. Like, I can choose to make that part of my environment. So yeah, that's number 2 for me.
I think it's really, really big. And with YouTube too, YouTube's tough because like, you can use YouTube to learn the skill sets to become a multi-millionaire, or you can use it to waste all your time.
Yeah, I think that's why, because I think
you use that tool.
A lot of people use YouTube just to like burn time.
Exactly, it's completely how you use that tool. Yeah, most people don't use it the right way or have the right focus. So yeah, having that voice in your head all the time, the ones you want to be there. Yeah, it instills that in you. Yeah, that's really good. My number 2, I think, would be is having like a bias for action. One of the things that's plagued me my whole life is I love to overthink things and think it through too much. There's a benefit to planning and there's a benefit to thinking, but there's so much benefit in just taking action and doing something. Even if it's not the perfectly right thing to do, you learn and correct and do it from there. It's kind of sad. It's good in a way, but it's sad that if you go back through my computer folders, you can see like folder after folder after folder of all these business ideas I had.
Really?
Like mapped out business plans, websites, logos, branding, everything. And because that's what was easy for me to create. The actual part of going out and seeking the customers, putting money into it, actually building the business itself was the hard part. So I was thinking, like, by building all these things and making all these plans, that was me.
What is this up here? Is this a hot spring?
I don't think someone's like doing snow up there.
There's like a bunch of white powder over here.
They're making snow over there. So this is snowballs. They're making snow. So this is actually Loveland right here. So they're making snow for Loveland right now. So anyways, I have all these folders and stuff written out, but I wouldn't actually take action. Just do the easy parts. It would make me feel like I was making progress, but I wasn't actually taking action on the meaningful things. And it's like, when I have an idea now or there's something I want to do, I just sit down and figure out what's like the very first step I can take. Like the other day, a good example was I needed to make a Facebook ad to retarget. We're going to do some retargeting for Sell Back Your Book stuff. And I was thinking through all these ways I could make the ad or all these different things I did, and I was kind of procrastinating on doing it. But I was like, you know what? Let's just sit down. I'm going to open up Facebook Business and hit create new ad. And I'll figure out what to do from there. And I was like, all right, what should we call it? Right, let's call it this. And then, like, by the end of like 30 minutes, I had all the ads I needed created and everything set up. But at first, I just overthought it. And for so long, I let that get the best of me. I overthink things and not take any action. So I always now on my to-do list write down the very first simplest step I can do to work towards that action, and normally it takes over from there. So a bias for action has really helped me overcome my procrastination habits. It's really helpful for me.
That's big.
What's your number 3?
Number 3 would be focus. Being able to, once you have your vision, you're going to naturally surround yourself with a good environment. You're going to know exactly what to do. So you have to focus on what's important. So again, 100,000 versus 1 million versus 10 million is going to call for different things. So look at the number one thing you have to do on the list and knock that out. Because you can't focus on 2 or 3 things at once. You have to go in order. So what is the most important thing? And a question I like to ask myself, I got this, I think, from Gary Keller. Is that his name? The guy who wrote
One Thing.
What is it?
Gary Keller wrote One Thing.
Yeah, the One Thing. Yeah, and Tim Ferriss says this too. Write down everything you know you need to do in your business to reach your goal, and then look at the list and say, what is one thing that if I focus on, it will make everything else easier or unnecessary? So you look at that.
That's a big thing.
And then you bold it. So you have your list of everything. Like I can't stand looking at my own handwriting. So like I'll type everything out in a list. I'll have like 50 things literally, and then I'll go through that list. I'll be like, okay, and I'll write everything down. Everything that consumes time during the day, going grocery shopping, whatever, like every little thing, and part of my business too, because time's a commodity. So it doesn't matter if, like, I only have 8 hours worth of damn in a day because I sleep a lot, and then the rest of the time, like, really, we probably really only have like 5 hours worth of damn, because you're gonna wake up, like, I sleep like 9-10 hours a night, then I eat probably like two hours a day collectively. I have to poop, I have to pee, I have to shower, I have to brush my teeth. I'm gonna lose focus. I probably only have 5 hours worth of damn. So like out of those 5 hours, probably only half of those 5 hours are like really productive. So like 2.5 hours on a good day are really worth the damn. So I want to make sure that I'm focusing those 2.5 hours on the most important thing, and that's determined by asking that question: what if I get this done, what else is it going to make unnecessary or easier on this list? I make that bold, and then I focus on that. And I'm not the best at it, but I think it's like the selective focus that I've been able to identify what is important. Like restrictedinventory.com is a service I recently launched. You helped me with that, make the website. But I identified that as one of the most important things. I was like, this is working. I need to stop doing this and turn my focus and focus on that. So then restrictedinventory.com, all the things revolving around making that a better business, those became my focus to hit 500K. So.
And the only way you're probably able to do that is because you were tracking your time and your numbers, and so you knew, like, I'm spending all this time here, but all the numbers are coming from this, and so.
Yep, little effort and a lot of reward.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, if I put more effort in, it's going to yield much greater reward. So
yeah,
my focus became, focusing on spending more time on that, because I know it's going to make everything easier or unnecessary. All my other sourcing techniques are essentially unnecessary now, because restricted inventory is going to take all my time if I want to really squeeze the most out of it that I can. So
yeah, I think it's really good. Yeah, it's tough. So that was kind of close to what I was thinking of for 3, is basically having that really focused time. One thing I'm not great at repeating yet, but I'm trying to get better at, is kind of getting in that flow state. Like that times where you're working and it just like breezes by because you're so focused and dialed in what you're doing. But I would figure out, and it's like, I don't think I'm exaggerating when I'm saying this either, that when you get into that flow state and you're actually doing productive, meaningful work, you can literally, I think, get more done in 3 hours than you would an entire week of doing other work.
I think so too. My Mondays are so productive compared to like the rest of the week, and I'm trying to keep that Monday mentality going throughout the week. But I'm just so in the zone on Monday that I know those 3 hours I knock out, like you said, it's probably worth the whole week.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I've tried to set aside throughout the day 2 different 2-hour blocks. It doesn't sound like much. 2 hours is 4 hours together. But like, if I can get 2 hours of focused work done on the, like you're saying, the one thing that'll move the needle the most, then first of all, you feel super accomplished because you got so much done, and also everything I complete after that is like a bonus for me. And so it's like so much fun to check off the list everything else I've completed after that, because to me, it's just extra. I was able to get done because I got my main thing out of the way. And if I were to stop work right now for the day, I'd feel good about myself. So getting extra done just makes you feel even more productive.
Yeah.
It's like, that's been really big, but I think the other thing that kind of ties into that is figuring out what to focus on, is learning to say no to different things. Like, I'm sure you've experienced it too. It's a really good thing, but it's a really bad thing too, is the bigger your business grows, the more opportunities you're presented with. which are great. It's great to have lots of opportunities, but also as entrepreneurs, I think we're like shiny syndrome.
Yeah.
We go to whatever we want. Caleb and I talk about this all the time. It's like, we've got a lot of opportunities in front of us. It's great, but we really have to say no to some and focus on other ones.
Yeah.
And it's
because every time you say yes to an opportunity, you're taking away from
exactly.
another.
You're saying, every time you say yes, you are saying no to something.
Yeah.
You just don't sometimes realize what you're saying no to. And so it's like there's certain things, like there's great opportunities, but it's like, does it fit with our game plan? Does it fit with what I'm trying to reach my goals right now in life? And if it doesn't, it's difficult. But sometimes you just have to say no to certain things to focus your time and effort on the things you've chosen really matter to you.
Right.
And even though it sounds restrictive, it's actually really freeing when you don't have a million things on your plate and you know what you're focusing on is what matters to you.
Yeah.
And so that's not something I'm great at, but I'm trying to learn to say no more and focus on what I know is actually moving the needle versus chasing shiny.
I think it becomes easier to say no, like once you have like that kind of like crazy goal, and you know that the steps you have to take to reach that goal. And then, like, I got presented with 20,000 books in Nashville, which I would normally drool over, but I know that it would take me time, even though I'd pay other people to go do it for me. It would take my money, and it would take a certain amount of mental space each day. And I know right now it's like I keep saying, like, restrictedinventory.com, this is a service, it's working, and I need to focus all my attention on that, because if I did accept those 20,000 books, like right now I'd be like trying to work out the deal, like as we're driving, which would take away mental space. So it's important to keep you only have so much time and mental capacity. So like when you say yes to one opportunity, now a certain part of your brain every single day is going to be thinking about that. So you really have to be cognizant of like what you're allowing to like sneak into your life by saying yes. I think starting out saying yes to everything is like a good rule.
Well, if you're not sure what you're chasing and you're trying to figure out what it is that you're good at and what's actually sticking, then like you was like restricted inventory, you didn't know right away it was working, but you were chasing so many different things. Like, hey, I'm doing 10 things, but this one thing is actually
I had no idea what it was going to become. I just said yes to it, but it worked. And I should keep saying yes to things, but I need to, like, if I know it's not going to work. I know how bulk books are. I know how 20,000 books. I know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to accept 5% of them. It's probably going to run me $2,000 to process all of them. Like, I know exactly what it is. So now I can say no to it because I've done it so many times. Yeah. But if I hadn't done it, who knows what I'm dealing with. So like when new opportunities arise, I think it's worth saying yes to. But once you figure out what that opportunity is, then you can say no to it in the future.
Yeah. No, it's true. And having that goal, like you said, helps you eliminate it right off the bat. If you don't have a goal, you kind of chase shiny a lot easier than if you know exactly what you're trying to hit.
Right. I think even at these turn the page events that we go to every quarter, we host these events where we all meet up and network with each other. I'm sure you've experienced this where you're talking to someone and maybe it's not like you're saying no to them, but you just don't think they're like super valuable to you, or you don't see how they're gonna be really valuable to you, and then later on you find out that they're like a huge business owner or something, and you're like, oh wow, like I was just talking to that person, had no idea who they were. So that's another reason why it's important to say yes. Like, say yes to every conversation, because you don't know who they are or who they're gonna be, or like what kind of business relationship you could develop with them, and that comes from saying yes.
Definitely networking, like Jordan Peterson always says, is like approach every conversation, every person that you can learn something from. They know something you don't, no matter how small they are or big they are.
Exactly. Yeah.
They know something you don't know that can help you.
Right.
So
that's very true in business too.
Yeah. Which it's coming from, like, if you guys know who Jordan Peterson is, look him up if you don't. But like, it's very big coming from him because he's basically a genius in the IQ scale. And it'd be easy for someone like him to think, like, come up to someone like me, oh, I know everything this guy knows. But he tries to approach everyone as if they know something he doesn't, and you value the people more, you learn more from them. But almost the opposite of what you were saying. One thing I've noticed at turn of page events is it's people that I wouldn't expect to learn something from, that maybe are operating really, really small businesses, or just getting started, but they have like one idea where it's like, wow. Yeah. I haven't heard of that before. It's like that actually,
happened to me with
that'll actually really, really work type thing.
Not that Miggity Mike's like a small seller or anything, but he's a bulk book seller. Text Expander is an app that I just downloaded. If you guys have not downloaded that app and you repeat yourself a lot, I do the same.
Oh, that's the copy and paste thing, right?
Yeah.
You can put in the pre-filled responses.
Yeah. So now he taught me about this app where you type in 2 letters and you make these prefixes. Like I can type in RI and it'll type everything out about restrictedinventory.com. So every time someone DMs me on Instagram or Facebook or texts me, like, how does restrictedinventory.com work? all I have to do is type in RI and it types that
That's really
whole
smart.
paragraph out. Or if someone asks, like I'm sure you get the same questions. Like if you look through your DMs, you probably have like 5 questions that happen over and over again. Like what are the best triggers to set for Scout IQ? What's the best way to reprice? Oh, how do I fix this issue with Scout IQ? Oh, and then you can just type in SQ or whatever, and it's going to type out like, oh, for Scout IQ, here's a whole video I've made on troubleshooting. You can like link them to your YouTube videos. So that's something I learned from, you know, someone smaller and just like a conversation. And he kind of just said it like it was no big deal, and I was like, wait, what? And I learned a lot, and that's saved me like hours now.
Yeah, that's a good example of that. Yeah. All right, well, thanks for doing those 3 tips. I think it's actually really helpful. I like hearing what's really helped you this past year, because I know you're gonna hit that goal. So it's really cool to see what you've changed in your life to be able to hit that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll be curious to see what happens next year and what goals you set and kind of what changed if we do this video a year from now.
Hell yeah.
How different it'll be, or what different tips you'll have and stuff like that.
Isn't it crazy? Last year this time was Turn the Page Phoenix.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were Turn the Page Phoenix.
Yeah. Lots changed.
Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah, that was a good event though. I like the Turn the Page Phoenix. But
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't been to Turn the Page event, definitely check out one of the other ones. They're great events to go to. And I think we'll probably do at least 4 next year. So yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's see how Avery snowboards, right?
Hell yeah.
And
Let's get
cutscene to
after it.
snowboarding. All right, we have arrived. Avery's getting fitted right now with his rental over there. After he gets all set up, we're gonna go out and see how well he does for his first run. What's going on, guys? We are up at the top of KeyStone now. Avery just did a little practice run on the bunny hill, but it was way too flat, so we've got him set up here, and he's gonna learn leafing, going down the mountain hillside. You got it. Nice, even weight on your heels. Perfect. Now other shoulder forward. Nice. See that? See how your board followed your shoulder?
Yeah.
Perfect.
You can gain speed fast on these things.
Yeah, so lean back. Yeah, the farther you lean back, without falling all the way over the other way, it'll slow you down. All right, guys, Avery's learning his toe side. He's doing awesome. He mastered heel side already, so we're going back down the mountain backwards now. We are going down, we're about halfway down our very first run. All right, this is a very long mountain, but we're halfway down our very first run. And Avery has already pretty much gotten down his S-turns. He's doing awesome. Let me show you the progress so far. All right, we are starting our second run. How was the very first run down ever snowboarding?
Good. We fell a lot, but I think we'll do this run in twice the time because I'm pretty comfortable on the board now. As long as I'm moving, I'm good.
All right, he's, yeah, he did not fall compared to what most people are falling, so he's exaggerating there. So what normally happens is people do like heel side their entire like first day or sometimes their first season, then they learn toe side, then they casually learn how to do S-turns. He was doing his S-turns almost like perfectly by the end of the very first run. So he fell like what, 4 times in the entire like 2-mile run?
More than that.
All right, 6 or 7 still. Barely anything. He's doing awesome right now. So he's gonna nail his S-turns this time. Then the third run down, we're gonna hit the jumps, right?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Good?
That was rough.
All right, sit for a second.
Yeah.
I won't put these in the video, don't worry.
You need to put that one in slow-mo.
Nice jump. How do you feel day one?
Feel pretty good. Had a couple wipeouts, but feel pretty solid about it overall.
I'll put the footage up so you guys always see, but you guys already know he did super well for his very first day snowboarding.
Glad to hear that.
This will be good, because now when all of you guys come down here for Turn the Page, when we go snowboarding again, he'll be owning you guys. So where's Avery? He's already down at the bottom of the hill.
Are you gonna, like, do you get better? Like, let's say I wait a couple months and come back. Am I gonna be a lot better when I come back?
It'll normally take you like a run or two to like get back into it, and once you do, you're probably better.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like season to season, it normally takes me like one trip up. I feel like back to where I was the year before, and then I can like progress from there.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, I'm excited for it.
Now it's off to dinner with who? Caleb?
Yeah,
David?
Caleb Roth, the creator of, not the creator, but the director of Sell Back Your Books.
Oh, yeah, Caleb Roth.
Sell Back Your Book. And then also David Chung. So,
It'll be a good group of people.
massive booksellers. Kinda. $1 million booksellers. Pretty big.
Yeah. We'll make them awkward to the GoPro there. Just put the GoPro up in the middle of the table. Don't say anything about it.